I'll be watching the new Mulan remake soon, so I'll let you know what I think about it.
1 week later.
Hi! It's been more than a week since Mulan was released in theaters and the movie has been leaked. Apparently you can find the movie in your TV box and links online. It's basically everywhere now. On top of that, people are also hating the movie a lot because of inaccuracy Chinese culture representation. Of course, there's nothing wrong liking the movie. You can like the movie and I'm not forcing you to hate the movie, but it is a bad movie. When the first trailer came out last year, I think, I was really looking forward to the movie, even though there's a change in direction for not having Musu. There's no musical, it's gonna be realistic. Sadly to say, I'm not satisfied with the movie. They could have done so much more. So, before we get to what I don't like about the movie, let's talk something about what I like about the movie. The first thing I like about the movie is the production design. The costume, the palace, the landscape. It's what you expect of Disney. Then the second thing that I like about the movie is that even though the movie direction has changed to be more realistic, the movie has kept its theme of honor. And also being true to who you are, not being peer pressure by the public and not letting anyone tell you to be someone that you're not. Except that there's just one problem, actually many problems. Granted, the movie actually looks pretty great and graphics are kinda okay, but the story is just so many boring characters, especially Mulan. Interestingly, compared with the original animation, there's quite a lot of changes with the characters. Despite having a new character which is called the Witch, and it's actually the replacement for the Falcon in the original animation. Unfortunately, I find her quite boring. She is like the most powerful character in the whole movie, but it does not make sense for her to be in the shadow of Khan. And the part where she sacrificed herself to save Mulan from being shot by an arrow by Khan, I thought that was pretty noble, but I don't really care because she gave like her background of being outcast, having the chi power, which we come to that later. But that was all about it. We don't see her struggle, we don't empathize with her even if we want to. And then there's Khan. Khan is a wannabe Shan Yu and he is just painfully boring in this movie. I mean he can catch the arrow with his bare hands, which is kinda cool, but that's about it. And I just don't find him intimidating as much as Sun Yu. Mulan has a new sister in the movie and if you remove her from the script, it's not gonna impact the script that much. And as a replacement for Li Shang in the original animation, there's a new character who's supposed to be the love interest of Mulan. I can't remember his face. Yeah, he didn't really have that much of an impact to Mulan's life as well, except just being supportive of her. Don Yen is also in the movie. He is the commander and he is badass, but his martial arts abilities in the movie are just underutilized so much because he is a supporting character, so he can't have that much screen time as Mulan. And of course, the star of the movie, Mulan. Oh man. Now putting aside politic matters, I don't have anything against the actress in terms of acting in the movie. She's just doing what is written in the script. Her character development is really bad. I mean she saved the emperor, she gave honor back to the family, she fought as who she really is, she didn't need to hide anymore as a man. But one thing that really bothered me was that they made Mulan like an Asian Rey from Star Wars. For some reasons, the writers decided it was a good idea to use Qi, like some kind of a magical force, but for Asians. And right from the start, you can already see that Mulan has this incredible amount of Qi, which makes her pretty talented in the ways of the martial arts. I mentioned before in one of my review videos that if you make a character overpowered, it's gonna be hard to relate to the character. You see, in the original animation, Mulan was just an ordinary girl. She had to go through the same training as the man and eventually she was pretty good enough to fight on her own but not too overpowered. In the original animation, she made a decision to replace her father and she cut her hair. That moment was so important in the movie, but it wasn't inside this new remake. And I'll tell you later why this is so important. And in the training, we can see her training so much. She was the one who climbed up to the higher pole in the end to get the arrow. She also briefly ran in the middle of a battlefield when Sun Yu was coming down with his army. And when she tried to convince Li Sang and the boys to go save the emperor, they didn't listen to her. But she bravely went on by herself. Also, she showed empathy to Li Shang when Li Shang found out that his dad was killed in the battlefield. Where is that? And she shined in that movie. She had character progress, character development, which this Mulan in the new Mulan remake doesn't have. But I think what bothered me the most was when the witch came to visit Mulan after she got kicked out of the army. She literally asked her to join her and rule the kingdom together. Now, where have I heard that before?
Join me, and I will complete your training.
I want you to join me. We can rule together and bring a new order to the galaxy.
Must be my imagination. With that said, they also didn't establish how exactly Qi works, because Mulan has Qi, but she does not have these magical powers like the witch. And is it possible to learn these magical powers? Maybe this is the dark side of the Qi, which is a pathway to many abilities, some considered unnatural. So I mentioned about Mulan cutting her hair, which was missing in this movie. The reason why this scene is so important is because she had to make a decision. I think the reason why they did this in the new remake is because they assume that everyone has watched the original animation. But it is not good to assume that way, because there are some people who has never watched the original Mulan. So from an editing point of view, seeing her suddenly having her father's armor in a flash just like that, there's no build up. There was also another scene that I remembered when the commander and the army was moving out. They were suddenly put into a scene of where the dead soldiers are. And that happened so quickly that it's like what? When Li Shang and the army were moving out and they were having a musical moment, it was all fun and games until they reached the destroyed camp where they were supposed to meet. And that got dark really fast. Another missing scene that I really wanted to see in this live action movie was that when Shan Yu appeared with his army from a distance, and you can see like a long line of army, and when they ran down to the mountain, you can really feel that, oh damn, this is serious, yo. Also, the fight choreography were kinda mediocre, I would say. If you have watched a lot of Chinese fantasy movies, just like Crunchy Tiger, Hidden Dragon, or House of Flying Daggers, and so on, they do have some similar fighting styles, but again, from an editing point of view, I think they cut out too much action. It just makes Mulan inferior. Lastly, the other thing that got me a bit annoyed was that everyone was speaking English. It makes me feel like I'm watching an anime with dubbed English. So, To sum it up, the new Mulan live action remake is basically Star Wars but for Asians. And if you like this movie, you know what? Great! Good for you. But I just find it ironic that for a movie that teaches you to be true to who you are, it borrows a lot of elements from Star Wars, and Mulan is an Asian race. But anyway, this is just what I think, so leave down your comments on what you think. Thanks for watching my review for Mulan 2020, and that's all I gotta say. So, see ya. Taking this with me.